Good evening, Joe. Thank you very much for joining us here in the sponsor suite. And just to explain, the purpose of these interviews is so that fans can get to know you as a player a little better than perhaps just seeing you around the club, or in many cases fans just see you on a Saturday afternoon or a Tuesday and they see you 90 minutes, that's it. So they only see the footballing aspect, but this is really about getting to know you a little bit more really, so thank you for your time. Joe, tell us about your career, where things started for you and how you've ended up at this point at Tamworth.
Started playing locally where I'm from in Leamington, and then did the usual trialling at all the pro clubs as a young kid from about the age of 8 and 9, and then at 12, 11, signed at Leicester City, right the way through to, 2021 with Beswick, Ryan Beswick. He was in my youth team, we lived together, so good memories there together. And then left there, went to Woking in the conference at the time with one of the ex-coaches at Leicester, took me down there. Then unfortunately I broke my foot. I signed a permanent deal after a month on loan, and then about 2 weeks into my permanent deal I broke my foot, so I was out for the rest of the season. And then found myself without anything in the summer, so I ended up at King's Lynn of all places, quite a random place. Because the coach at the time who got the job was from Leicester originally, so I went with him. Then I ended up at Brackley because King's Lynn went bust because of the previous tax bill. Went to Brackley, had a good couple of years there, then ended up at Leamington where I spent 6 seasons. And then ended up here this season, and that's how I've managed to come to Tamworth for it.
So, how old are you now, Joe?
29.
Approaching the dreaded 3-0.
Oh, that's alright. My kids keep me young, so I'm alright.
So you're on dual registration terms and forms with Leamington, obviously. As you say, you've been there a number of years. I guess I want to basically ask you, with things going so well at Tamworth, are you likely to be here next season?
I suppose you never know what happens in football, but all I can say is I've really enjoyed my time here, and hopefully if a deal gets sorted, they get sorted. But obviously you never know what happens in football, because 1 minute a deal can be on the table. I've had that before, a deal's on the table one day and you come to sign it and nothing's there, so we just play by ear, wait and see what happens at the end of the season, see what happens really. Good
diplomatic answer there. So you've had a couple of promotions from this level already with Leamington, haven't you?
Yeah.
How close do you think the current Tamworth side is and squad is to being able to get promoted from this level?
I think what I've learned from obviously Leamington, Paul Holleran, the manager there, great man manager. Obviously a big thing for the group, so it was team spirit. Everyone pulling in the same direction. So we had an identity, they used to call it the DNA, style of play, and basically if lads didn't want to fit into that or fit into the team spirit, they quickly moved on. And I think the group of lads we've got here, Andy and Gaz, they've both set us up in a structure to go out and play, and I think all the lads are pulling in the same direction, so I think if we can keep doing those things, I think we'll go very, very close next year if we can keep the group together.
Okay. A little bit away from the football aspect now. You as a person, I guess you work?
Yeah.
What do you do when you're not playing football?
I'm an electrician, so I work on big building sites up and down the country, doing all different types of electrics. So from rewires to data, communications, literally anything and everything I'll do at work. So generally a typical day is up at 5:30, get home about 6, then travel straight over for training on Tuesday and Thursday. So it's a typical day for me.
I'm the kind of guy that comes on your side as a health and safety officer.
Oh, right.
Suddenly start putting your personal protection gear on and
with the permits,
doing things properly.
Yeah, one of those guys there. But yeah, you need them up there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about keeping people safe. Yeah. But, interesting to know what you do away from football. And as I said at the start of the interview, that's what these are all about, really, getting to know you as an individual a bit more. So, light-hearted questions, really. We tend to ask this one. Have you got any superstitions or rituals, really, that go on a match day?
Yeah, Saturday's the only day I have full control of my house. Saturday morning's the only day I have full control of my house because then it's football day. So I say I'm lying, but it'll be till about 8:30 because the kids will have me up. To be fair, my son's good as gold now. He makes my coffee. I have 2 porridges. After 2 porridges, a banana, and the same pot of pasta. Sorry, life, driving, same playlist on the stereo and get here, and it's the same rituals.
Really?
Yeah,
that really is quite a routine.
Yeah, it's just a routine that I've always had. And if I break the routine, I don't know, it just gets in my head a bit.
So if you question it, if we've lost the game, you sort of question, did I do something not quite right?
Yeah, if something's not quite right on the preparation, I generally then overthink it. But if I know I've prepared well, and if we've lost the game and I've personally had a good game, generally I won't change it. But even things like box shorts and stuff, if we've done well, make sure I wear the same box shorts. Obviously wash them, but yeah, wear the same ones. So yeah, it's just little things like that. But I know a lot of players are like that.
Yeah, superstitious bunch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Light-hearted, really. In terms of the current squad, who trains the hardest?
Oof. At the moment, I wouldn't say trains the hardest, but tries the hardest in training. Definitely Anthony's wire. Trains like it's a World Cup final. Every training session, you have to tell him that you don't have to have 30 touches. You can just relax, just not try as hard, and everything will come good.
Okay. Who's the messiest then, Joe?
Messiest. Probably say from previous experience, Bez, because I live with Bez. Yeah, Scruffer.
Okay. It's interesting that we've interviewed other players, obviously, and we've got their thoughts. So it's interesting how all these tie in. In terms of football, obviously we have idols, players we look up to as we grow up. Who would that be for you? Who do you aspire to be like?
I think the usual everyone goes Zidane, Messi, Ronaldo. But as a kid, it was Andy Cole, which is quite a strange one because I'm actually a Chelsea fan. But I just watched Match of the Day. I used to love Andy Cole. Just the way he played, obviously, just everything was about scoring goals. When I was young, I used to play up front, so it was all about scoring goals. Just used to love watching him play. So yeah, he was more football than I was as a kid.
Okay. So recently you found yourself in the centre half void. You've been quite at home there with Kets actually. It's been a really good partnership, and but you're more of a midfielder, aren't you, by trade?
Yeah, but no. As a kid, as young, when I obviously was a pro at Leicester with Bez, I actually played centre back or right back. Never played midfield up until about the age of, must have been about 22. And then just got converted into a holding midfield player, which in non-league football is you generally find a lot of teams have a big central midfielder who covers the pitch, heads the ball, tackles, breaks the play room. And that was what I generally used to do. It wasn't really a ball playing midfielder. Just to break up play, basically give the ball to the back footballers, basically. But then played the odd game here and there at centre back, and it wasn't until a couple of weeks ago where Andy and Smith pulled me and said, "Look, I want to play your centre back." Played there and never looked back really. So it was going well.
You're clearly enjoying it, and you're very at home there. So you've really made that position your own.
Yeah, it's going well.
Well, long may it continue, Joe. Thank you for your time this evening, and no doubt we'll do one of these again at some point in the future.
All right, cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.